all over this country, you must have seen enough of it.
I've seen enough of it to say, stop it.
There's a lot of, let's say, weird things that go on.
Yeah. I'm Alex Willemans. I'm coming basically from Brussels, Belgium. I'm born there, but I travel most of the time. I spend a lot of time in West Africa, and I've been studying djembe first with Mamadi Keita. First thing, don't trust him. Tree is shit. They only try to cheat you, to brainwash your mind, you know. This is not the reality, okay? This is just fiction, like cinema, you know. The reality there is very nice people, very sweet. I've been crossing the border.
For example, walking through Arkansas, maybe a little uneasy. I was on a long road, a long stretch. I was by myself with my trail pack.
Yeah.
No cell phone. And so I'm walking. I figured I would walk out of McCaskill. I got about 45 miles, maybe 50 miles down the road. It's actually 57 miles.
Yeah.
About 57 miles down the road. And this particular road goes from one end for about 200, 300 miles. And so there's no turning back. It's not like I'm gonna go back to the city. I'm gonna get a bus. I don't want to do this no more. I'm out. It's not like and so I was determined to get from the one end to the other. Well, in doing so, there was a truck. There was a truck that I had seen, with a couple of guys in it, and it had long beards and stuff like that, But the creepy thing, the weird thing about it was they were following me.
Yes.
And I'm walking, so I know I'm not moving that fast.
Yes.
And they're behind me in a pickup truck. And I looked, I didn't think nothing of it at first. I just kept walking, I got about 100 paces or 150 paces. And they're walking, I'm walking, and I see, and I'm looking back, and it's creeping, like it's coming up slow. Okay, it's following slow by, and I look back and I says, maybe they're just looking at a map or something. So I kept moving. Then I looked back again, and it was coming slowly towards me. Then it stopped. Whenever I looked back, it would just stop. I thought that was kind of weird. So I just stopped. I stood there, and I said, "Wait a minute. Let me see if they move. If I'm walking and they stop, when I move, maybe they might keep going."
Yeah.
And so I stopped, and I said, and they just looked at me. Then they reached on the racks. They had gun racks, so they reached on the back of the gun rack, and I seen not the driver, but the passenger grab the gun off of the rack. And I said, okay, that's not a good sign. It ain't no hunting. And I'm not a deer. And when the car went by, they started following me, and they came up closer. That's when I got concerned. I was walking, they came up closer. I'm talking about within 20 feet. Right here. I said, whoa. I kept going, and they started going faster. I said, if they were trying to run me over, they would have run me over. So the guys, I guess looked like he was messing with something, because he was in the passenger. I believe he was doing something with that rifle.
Whoa.
He took it off the rack. I saw him take it off the rack, and he's messing around with it. And then the driver is driving, but he's not driving. He's actually just going slow and putting on the brakes, going slow, putting on the brakes. And the guy is messing around with something. I figured, so that's when I said, I looked up, I said, Lord, I don't think I'm supposed to go like this. This is supposed to happen, man. This is, listen, I apologize. I want to say, I'm sorry, my apologies for everything that I didn't do that I was supposed to do.
Yes.
That was it, and basically I was like,
now, at that moment, you are alone with two people whom you suspect that have guns, and you suspect that
your life is in danger.
Yeah.
And now
Absolutely.
you have no gun, you have no weapon,
No weapon.
you have nothing to protect yourself
No.
but your backpack
That's it.
and your head.
That's it.
And the next weapon you think you can think of is God.
Well, he's gonna use me as two, cause I ain't going out like, I mean, I got 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 stuff. So they just come up and shoot me. I mean, but yeah, and then if they, from a distance, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, beyond, you know, mine.
If you didn't think about God, what do you think what else will you do?
If I didn't think about God,
Yeah, if you didn't know God, if you were not brought up in a way that you have to rely on God, what do you think you would do? What do you think somebody, an atheist, for example, or
the only thing I would have is to do the best I could to protect this life, this body, so that the life in it survives. If it doesn't, then it just goes. That's it.
Okay.
So yes, my tool was one of my tools. My last tool, yeah, was say a prayer. I had to say a prayer.
And what happened?
And God answered.
Because some people don't have a prayer.
And God answered. And God answered. I prayed and God answered. And let me tell you how God answered. I prayed and God answered. And let me tell you how God answered.
I want to hear that.
As I'm walking and I say that prayer, I said, I said a prayer. As I'm walking, and I'm walking as fast as I can. And with a truck, a yellow dump truck, is driving and is coming up on the road, on this back road. It's coming up behind me. And it came past, went past me. I looked back at it when it was approaching me, or coming in the direction I was coming in. I looked at it, but I couldn't see who the driver was. And I didn't want to wave anything because it's a very small road. And I wasn't sure, but it made me nervous enough to want to react. So I said a prayer, and saying that prayer, this dump truck comes down the road, pulls over, about 50 feet ahead of me.
What did you say? What do you say in the prayer?
I said I'm not supposed to go out. I said, Lord, if this is, if this is how I'm supposed to go, okay, no problem. I said, but I want to let you know right now. I said I did the best I could, and that what I did, and that which I didn't do, I probably, I'm sorry. That's all. I'm not making up no excuses for something that I know I did. But he says, and I'm there to be judged. I'm probably gonna tell him it's hereditary.
This is somebody who has sold drug, done all types of things, gone to jail, spent more than a decade in jail, got out of jail, start traveling, listening to the voice of God, and is somewhere and is facing the same probably situation he may have put other people inside, and is asking God, this is me. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it truly is. Especially when it gets answered,
Yeah.
When prayers get answered, there's no denying. There's no denying that he is what he says he is.
So what happened from there?
Well, from there, the dump truck pulled up ahead of me. A big brother got out. I believe he said Robinson was his name. Well, he gets out the truck, African American brother. He gets out the truck. It's very healthy. And, first thing I noticed was he didn't have no neck. He just had all body. Boom. I was like, okay. I'm like, we get some reprieve. I'm gonna take more than them to get rid of this guy. So, when I saw the brother, they got, and he waved to me. Yeah. Hey, come in this direction. Come on, man. Come. He was waving to me, and I said, so I started walking faster. Eventually I made it up to him. When I did make it up to him, he held out his hand, and his hands were like my father's hands, like 2 of my hands. And I gripped his hand, and I said, thank you very much. I looked at him, and I had a tear in my eye, because, I what was going to transpire, And I said, well, thank you, man, thank you. He says, I don't know who you are, but somebody loves you. Get in the truck. I said, okay. you got it. and,
Wow.
and I ended up getting in the truck and he drove me just to the exit away from him, you know. So when I got in the truck, they immediately drove past him, stopped on the opposite side of the road, looked at him, and then took off.
Which is played by the griot, which are the traditional musicians in West Africa. Storyteller, drummers, players, people sometimes just doing nothing and just asking for money. But the incredible virtuosos, like the greatest musician in general in West Africa, comes from griot family. You know? Balake Sissoko, Wolfa Muskera player, a lot of really incredible musicians are coming from this culture. The griot have the rule to give knowledge of past and history. Like a good griot, if it is the griot of your family, will sing or talk about your family until 10 generations ago, you know? I don't know my family even for 3 generations, you know what I'm saying? And I think most of you guys don't know neither, you know? And the work of the griot is to give all this knowledge, all this past and history, you know? It's very strong. And I think it's very important to this work. And also, like, the music is just fantastic, you know. I really love it. So I will just play a little song with my lovely girlfriend, my fiancée, actually. She's just beginner, but she's very talented. So we're gonna try to do something together now. Right. This is called Kaira. It's like a very classical song there. sayang ko.
We can't judge people. We can't look at their appearance and just judge them. We have to take them for face value. We have to start loving on each other. We have to start caring. Cancer is a disease that is prominent all over this world. Each one of us carry a gene. Each one of us has a cancer in us, whether it be cancer, the cancer, or cancer just another disease, or alcoholism, drug abuse, whatever. I just feel that, you know, we need to care about each other, and this world is getting so bad that people are stopping care. They're stopping and not caring. We need to focus on not ourselves as much, but on each other. That's what's going to make us exist. Not the selfishness, not the rudeness, not the arrogance, but loving on each other and just caring about each other, whether you have cancer or not.
One thing I know after traveling a lot is people who travel end up being different. Do you feel you've been changed by your travels?
That is the most beautiful question you ever asked. Yes, I do. Because I was a man who didn't like people, and I had to work. I had to deal with people all the time, going from home to home, business to business, bringing flyers and cards, just trying to get a bid. No, I didn't like anybody except my family. And especially after my wife died and the cancer, I got really bitter. But I had to learn, and this trip actually gave me solitude to learn, to think, to rethink my life, to understand that I'm human, but I don't have to be mean and ugly like them, the other people in this world. Why can't somebody just love rather than hate? I mean, you know, I get upset and mad sometimes, but I don't get violently angry. I don't get angry. I just feel that, you know, we need to just trust each other and be a part of each other's lives rather than not be there at all. How long is that? And another thing that bothers me on this trip, okay, which is I think the most important, is I see homeless people all over the place. I don't want to make a big issue out of this, okay, but I see homeless people all over. People, stop throwing your family out the door. Start loving them. Start caring about them. They're not trash.
Yeah, they are right there. You know,
I hate that.
yes, it is a big problem. It is a very big problem in our society that we don't care about our families. We leave our families in the hands of streets, in the hands of police, in the hands of evil. They are sitting out there. They don't have anywhere to go, but they have families. I believe all these people sitting out there, they do have families.
Oh, yeah.
And their families think they are useless because they don't have material resources. They forget that these people have souls.
Oh, yes.
These people have spirits. And these spirits are brought into their families for a reason.
Yes.
But because they don't have money or they don't have any material means, they should be thrown out of their own families. What you said is very important because being a traveler all over this country, you must have seen enough of it.
I've seen enough of it to say, stop it. You know, enough is enough. I mean, I traveled to 3 different countries. 3 different countries, 43 states. What I see in people is that they're living the same lives that their parents lived, that their grandparents lived. The same exact life. The same exact way. The same thing over and over and over again, in poverty, in richness, and whatever. You go into Malibu, you go into Laguna Beach, and you'll find people that are rich, people who are famous. Some people there treat you like normal people. Other people treat you like trash. They will just, like you're not even there, just kind of gaze at you. Not even gaze at you. They'll just walk by you like you don't even exist. Those people are the people that don't need to be here. The people who do need to be here, who have a heart, who care. That's what I hate on this trip. And I don't hate much on this trip, but I think those people are the worst. The worst of scum than scum are just the people who can't care, won't care. think money is all that. Look, there are times that I spent on this trip where I had no money whatsoever, that I slept in fields, that I stayed awake all night riding. I could have gotten killed. Do you think anybody cared? I have 2 daughters. Of course they cared. But do you think anybody else cared? Car goes by quick. Do you think anybody cares about what I'm doing on that bicycle? No. I had cancer. I don't need to be out here. I didn't have to come out here, but I choose to be out here because I cared about you. That's it.
Wow.